Good morning, CFA. It is Thursday, September 12th, and I am Nick Santamasi with your news. And now, here is Mimi Martin with some info on 3D printing.
What is this printer used for?
We use the printer in graphic design to design objects for the lower school 100-mile club right now. They're getting medallions so that when they get 25 miles or 50 miles in their club, they'll get a little medallion for us. And then there will also be some high schoolers and middle schoolers who will use the 3D printer to do some other projects around the school. Those are still being developed.
What is some of the technology that is a part of it?
Well, you need a computer to design the objects you're going to print, and we use SketchUp, which is a 3D design program made by Google. And so the students will design the project in SketchUp, and then we'll export it off onto a computer that has special software that can talk to the printer. And then by combining those two computers, we can create the final 3D print.
How long does it usually take on average?
Depends on the size of the print job. A smaller medallion that we're making for the 100-mile club takes about 30 minutes, and then some of the bigger things that we've done have taken 2 to 3 hours.
How do you create the object on the computer before you print it?
Well, SketchUp is a program that allows you to draw shapes, and then it has a push-pull button so that you can make them go from a flat design to a 3D design. And so by combining the different 3D push-pull elements with things that you draw, you can then create your 3D object.
How do you think this will be beneficial to the CFA?
Well, the obvious way is that we're going to be able to make products that the school can use. But in a not as obvious way, I think the skill set that you develop as you're working with a 3D printer is going to be beneficial to any student who works with it.
This has been a CFA broadcast.
Cool story, Mimi. Now, here's Jack Orkin with the new math teacher, Mrs. Reagan.
This is Jack, and this is our new teacher, Miss Reagan. I'm going to interview her and ask her several questions. The first question is, what is your favorite thing to teach of all of the curriculum?
My favorite thing to teach would be the Algebra 1. Algebra 1 was my favorite subject when I was growing up, and I really enjoy teaching it.
Is the curriculum very different or not different at all compared to the WASP curriculum?
It's about the same. I would say that both of the curriculums at these schools are more challenging than what you would see in a public school.
Do you like the different grading scale?
I'm not quite sure yet because I'm used to a 7-point scale, which is different than the 10-point scale. I think that it's good for you guys because that's what colleges use. So I do like the fact that it's preparing you for what it'll be like in college. Is it a little bit easier sometimes, I think? Of course, because it's 10 points and not 7 points. But I think that all in all, it's still a good system to use.
Are you teaching the same classes as you did at WASP?
I'm teaching 2 of the same classes. I used to teach geometry and 6th grade math also.
What made you want to come to CFA from WASP?
I wanted to come to CFA because there is a much larger environment here, which I enjoy. And my son also gets to come with me, which was a bonus.
All right, thank you for your time.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Jack. Next up, William Lewis with CFA Sports Update.
On Tuesday, middle school A team had a rain delay but ended up beating St. Mark's B team 9-0.
It's not about the size of the man in the fight. It's about the fight of the man.
The CFA middle school A team soccer defeated Friend School on Thursday at a score of 5-0.
Nice, William. Lastly, Greg Stewart with Mrs. Benetti, 6th and 7th grade science teacher.
Hey, how are you?
Hello, Greg. I'm doing well.
That's good. So I heard you had a project with the 6th graders.
I did.
So how'd that go for you?
It went really well. It was called Meet the Equipment. You might remember it.
Oh yes, I remember that from my old days as a 6th grader.
He put on a suit, and his project was odd rods? Is that it?
Yep, odd rods. I had to put on a morph suit. It said morph on the bottom end.
So what do you want to do today?
Well, first off, what were the projects like? Were there some funny ones, or what were the names of them?
So the 6th graders had to come up with a company, and they had to sell me science equipment. So, well, I don't have any science equipment up here, but here's an example of a business card. This was Magnificent Lenses. So one of the companies was Magnificent Lenses. We had, Squiggly Stirs. This was one of their marketing pieces. The girls created t-shirts and tossed them out to the crowd as their marketing tool. We had Great Goggles. We had American Flaskware Department. We also had, dropper bombers, super cylinders. They're all around the room. But yeah, we had some great ideas. This year we actually had a lot of pre-made commercials. The students used a lot of iPad apps and Samsung, the Google apps rather, and they made pre-made commercials and edited. So it was very technological this year. I was impressed.
So, what ones were the best?
Were the best? Well, I can't pick just one because they were all great. But I was definitely impressed by the videos. Like I said before, the students who went out and did their own videos, one group actually solicited Mr. Gurgle for their news interview, which was great. I have a flyer right here, look at my desk. Another flyer by Great Goggles. And if you can see some of the other posters and other marketing, I could say pieces, but tools would be the better word.
Well, that's good to know. So, Ms. Benetti, do you have any examples of the commercials?
I do, Greg. So this group was Magnifying Magic. It might be a little big. I don't know if you can see it. Magnifying Magic. So their logo was the hat with the magnifying glass kind of mimicking a bunny ear. I thought that was really good. They used an iPad app and did a commercial, pre-filmed commercial. It was pretty darn good. I was really impressed. We had some brilliant beakers, and they definitely took the theme of more of a science supply company. So they sold beakers and other things, but they wanted us to sell. They wanted me to buy their beakers, so that's what they were selling me. And then lastly, this was one of the groups who created a mascot, and I think she was Crazy Sassy Kathy. She was for Graduated Cylinders. She was their crazy little mascot. So we had some of that too this year.
Well, that's cool. And it's for the years out?
I think so. I was thinking of changing it this year, but then actually after talking to you guys and you were all like, oh, are they going to do the equipment projects? It made me think that I should keep going. It's a fun way. Everyone gets excited about science. They learn about science equipment. And I definitely enjoyed it. I mean, you came in a morph suit last year, so that put a smile on my face.
Yeah, that was fun.